And thank you, Soledad. We've been so lucky to work with you in the last several years. And your interview with Demonte and Mitch was a real highlight today. Thank you for being with us and guiding us through the program. Now, although I can only see you obscurely from up here, I have a question for you. Do you have restored energy for the work you do? Put your hands together if that's the case. It is our hope, it's our hope that you are coming out of today's event with new connections, new ideas, new energy, and perhaps even a vision for your own way forward that you hadn't thought of before. And perhaps you're coming out of today's event with a bit more empathy and understanding. And think back about the journey that we've been through today. We heard about kinship and the realization that we are all kin, even with people we don't recognize to begin with. Sixto realized that he had lived 58 miles from his kin for years. And by the way, I have a bit of breaking news from Sixto. Senator Wyden of Oregon has today asked the Department of Justice to investigate the 4 residential facilities that Sixto talked about. A beautiful example of someone tackling a system that was, they thought, bigger than they could handle, and yet look what they did. So we also heard about proximity, about going to the front lines, literally. We heard about cherishing people as the way to change systems, cherishing the community health worker, Margaret, whom you heard from. And we talked about the support of Amazon Frontlines and others to preserve biodiversity and the lungs of our planet. We heard a session about making sense of AI that, unlike many AI sessions, was not just about the tech, but really grounded in making the world a better place. Michael talked about reclaiming languages on the same timeline and the same clock is ticking on those as on the Amazon. We heard from Alex about how AI can lead to much better disaster response. And we heard from Afua, among other things, about AI that can be for playful learning and joy. We heard from, we heard from someone who survived something as difficult, as soul-wrenching as a genocide, we heard some beautiful things. We heard that peace is not a wish to be granted, but it's an action that we are required to choose. And we heard, and I want you to say this with me, if it's awesome, let it blossom. Take that home with you. All right, so we heard a lot of great things today. And it is also our hope that you will have new ways of looking at the world, and you've perhaps been able to think about how we can work together to make tangible changes for the betterment of humanity at this critical juncture. 5 years ago at this event, I noted that we were at a fragile moment in ensuring a peaceful and fulfilling existence for humanity, and think what's happened since then. Today, I think we're also at a moment that requires each of us to act individually and collectively, no matter what our sphere of influence. Every one of our speakers today has shown us that solutions exist, hope remains, and that we can create a way forward that improves the human condition. I think the way forward that Amazon Frontlines has shown us, above all else, is to show us that there is a better way, a less destructive way, a more responsible way to steward the resources that we have been given on this planet. Often, in a prize, the prize is awarded to an organization that's come up with a new vaccine or done some sort of technological innovation. I think the innovation here is to ask people to stop, to listen, and to rethink the course that we are on. And Demonte said something really striking yesterday, last night at the dinner. She said, merecemos este premio. We deserve this prize. I've never heard a laureate lead with that line. And yet it is so, so true. As she said, Indigenous peoples have not felled the nest. Indigenous peoples have stewarded the resources for the rest of the planet. And she said, not only do we deserve this prize, but we are so profoundly grateful to be recognized for that honor. And I think that is really a message we should take away with us. We share one humanity. It's our duty to move forward together, and we have marching orders from the Monte and Mitch about building community here in support of kin there. So with that, I want to thank all of our speakers for coming from near and far to be with us today and for having such important discussions. I also really, really want to thank the prize team by name. And please give it up for Maggie Miller, Anna Moore, Hannah Mora, Saiba Ulrich, and Shiana Avery. They are the beating heart not only of this event, but of the prize itself, and they do such awesome work. Now, I do have one formal announcement, which is that we're leaving you all next year, just for the year. Next year, the Hilton Humanitarian Prize will be held in New York City for the 30th anniversary of the prize at the Waldorf Astoria, historically the crown jewel in the Hilton hotels. It will be held on October 6th, so please mark your calendars now. You won't want to miss it. So thank you for being here today. To those of you who joined us on live stream, thank you as well. And one more note, those of you who are in the room, please take a few minutes to fill out the surveys provided to you at registration. We read every word and pay close attention. And with that, thank you, enjoy the reception, and get an autographed book. Thank you.